From The Godfather to The Goonies, from Star Wars to Schindler's List, from Batman to Blazing Saddles, it's a movie show that's almost as all over the place as its host. Welcome to Jim's Moving Picture Show.
Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Jim's Moving Picture Show. In today's episode, is going to talk about one of my favorite topics, and one of the things that's really a key piece of my identity, and that is the state of Texas. A couple weeks ago for the 4th of July, I did a list of movies that made me kind of feel American in a pretty nebulous sense, and I thought I would do the same thing with the state of Texas. I love being a Texan. There's something really cool, particularly when you travel overseas and people say, "Hey, where are you from?" And you don't say the US or America, you say Texas, and people know Texas. People know Texas all over the world. I don't know that people know a lot about Nebraska or Rhode Island or Delaware. But Texas, I mean, even if it's the cliche, people know that Texas has a sense of identity. I remember working with the German military, and there was this guy arguing, and I forgot where he was from, but the other guy was from Bavaria. And he was just like, Bavarians are just better. Bavarians are this or that, or Bavarians are tough, or Bavarians are strong. And then he looked at me and went, "You're a Texan, you get it?" And I do get it. I do get what it means that to have this reputation. And frankly, a lot of that reputation comes from movies. So normally we do a top 10 countdown of stuff. But in this instance, because, well, we're talking about Texas and everything's bigger in Texas, we're going to do a countdown of 12 movies and shows that really make me feel Texan. And we're going to start with a tie for 12th. A tie for 12. And that's because we're going to include both Friday Night Lights, the movie, and Friday Night Lights, the TV show. Both of them are very different. Both of them are excellent. Now, first, the movie. The movie's depressing, and it really does focus on probably the negative part of that Friday Night Lights Texas high school football culture. And if you've never been to a high school football game in Texas, and I mean real high school football, I didn't play real high school football. I played high school football at a small Catholic school in Houston, Texas. I'm talking about like in Odessa, Permian, where the movie takes place, or towns like Alvin or even Lake Travis outside of Austin. Like that's Texas high school football. Uh, you know, 10,000 people in the stands, the entire town shuts down. And a lot of that is awesome. And a lot of that comes with a lot of sadness. And the movie Friday Night Lights really paints a picture of just how much pressure that those kids are under, representing an entire town when it comes to the game of football, which in Texas is no joke.
What's the problem? Get off your field, Dad. Why can't you hold on to the football? It's so goddamn hard about holding on to it. I'm sorry. All you gotta do is hold on to the goddamn football, and you can't do it. Tell me why you can't do it. Just tell me. That's all I wanna know. I'll try better next time. Come on. Hey! Don't you walk away from me. Don't you walk away from me when I'm talking to you. You hear me? Tell me why you can't hold on to the ball.
Enough.
Come on.
Mr. Billy,
answer a question.
It's the first day of practice, Mr. Billy.
Practice. Hold on.
Seriously.
Mr. Billy.
Enough. Charlie. Okay.
Embarrassing me out here.
Okay.
Now, the thing about Friday Night Lights, the show, is they were smart enough to realize that you obviously had to capture some of that same pressure and some of that same stress that small communities, particularly communities that are economically depressed, put on their football players and coaches through the game of football, because in some ways it's the only thing they have. But the show was smart enough to realize that we didn't want to watch the dark, depressing thing 12 to 15 episodes a season for hopefully multiple seasons. So they were smart enough to make it positive and to have hope be a real thread in the show. The show is excellent, particularly seasons 1 and anything season 3 and after. Season 2 is pretty bad, but highly recommend if you've not seen Tammy Taylor, Coach Taylor, which is relationship goals for everybody, at least they should be. Definitely need to watch Friday Night Lights.
I'm just having a moment. I don't think I'm okay. I hate him. And I don't like hating people. But I just put all my hate on him so I don't have to hate anybody else. And so that I can be a good person, you know, just to my grandma, to my friends, to your daughter. That's all I want to say. I just want to tell him to his face that I hate him. But he doesn't even have a face.
Now, next up, I'm going with John Wayne's The Alamo. Now, probably I should go with the miniseries The Alamo 13 Days to Glory, but either way, The Alamo is one of the most remarkable stories in American history and in world history. The numbers are exaggerated. Sometimes it's 5,000 Mexican soldiers under Santa Anna. Sometimes it's six. You're talking about numbers between 180 and 250 Texan defenders. And then they held out for 13 days. That's why it's often called 13 Days to Glory. It's an incredible moral victory. It helped break Santa Anna. And a couple of things that I want to get straight is a lot of people believe, and we've allowed a sort of, I don't know what I'm sure let's call it liberal washing over history when it comes to this. And this narrative that America stole Texas from Mexico. If you go and look at any representation of the Alamo, including paintings, the flag flying over the Alamo is a Mexican flag with the number written 1824 in the middle. The Texas War of Independence didn't begin as a war of independence. It began as a war and one of several other uprisings all up and down Mexico of restoring the Constitution of 1824 that Santa Anna had thrown out. It wasn't until, in fact, that it was very clear that all the Alamo defenders would be put to the sword that they changed motivations to make it a war of independence. It's simply historical fact. I know it's not convenient in modern testing of history where anything that America's ever done is wrong or Americans or whatever. So, yes, it's a historical fact that the beginning of the Texas War of Independence had nothing to do with actual independence and really was about restoring to the legal document that those Texans moved to Texas for and under. They were invited by Mexico to create a buffer between the ever emerging, the ever expanding United States of America. And it wasn't until Santa Anna threw out the Constitution in which they lived that the uprising started. I would hope if a president threw out our Constitution, we would also have an uprising. So it deflects that history degree, but a lot of people that want to just get mad and say America stole Texas, it's wrong at every level.
Days of glory at the siege of Alamo. Lift the tattered banners proudly while the eyes of Texas shine. Let the fort that was a mission be an everlasting shrine.
So coming to number 10, I told you this list is really more about vibes than it is so like a retelling of like Texas history or something. So to me, the movie Tin Cup has to be on this list. Something about West Texas golf and just very much captures that Texas thing that exists. Maybe Tin Cup.
Met her in a border town. We proceeded to get down. She turned me on. I dropped the telephone. Moonlight hits the Rio Grande, and the touch of her hand, it makes me high, like the 4th of July. A bad bandito came into town. Man, I'm gonna hunt that burrito down. But these words keep ringing in my head. A little bit is better than nada.
Now coming in at number 9, no one captured the voice of Texans better than writer Larry McMurtry. And we've got 3 films on this list. And a couple of notable movies, or at least a notable movie that didn't make the list, was Terms of Endearment, which was also, I hear the book much better than the movie. But coming at number 9 is the sequel to Last Picture Show. That's the movie Texasville, which really didn't do very well at the box office, but I really, really like. I think especially because It's a nostalgic look at the first Texas I kind of remember. So the movie Texasville.
Testing. Testing.
You can stop saying testing, Dwayne. The mic's obviously working fine. Hey, Dwayne, how's life without a single soul to come home to?
Oh, Joycey, I'm so glad you're here. We have so much to talk about. I want you to come over here and we'll discuss.
The Covenanted Eight, yes, it's about football. It's actually inspired by Friday Night Lights in many ways. Yes, it's silly, but it kind of really dives more into that Texas thing than even Friday Night Lights does in a kind of a more entertaining way. And that is the movie Varsity Blues, because in the state of Texas, you know, there are rules.
In America, we have laws. Laws against killing. Laws against stealing. And it's just accepted that as a member of American society, you will live by these laws. In West Canaan, Texas, there is another society which has its own laws. Football is a way of life. That's me as a kid playing ball with my best friends. I'm Jonathan Moxon, but most people call me Mox.
Number 7, the movie isn't great. And you can tell they shot the movie in order because his acting certainly gets better the further the movie goes. But there's something about putting, if there was a king of Texas, it would be George Strait. The movie is pure country. And again, not a great movie, but certainly gets me feeling that Texas kind of way.
Any chance you'd give me some lessons?
Hey, JW, do you hear that? This guy wants us to give him roping lessons.
Hey, I'll pay. In advance.
In advance?
Yeah. Wondering if maybe you might want to rent out that empty bunkhouse too. I could pay room and board. Maybe stay a little while. Take some roping lessons.
Okay. You want to buy a rope?
And number 9, there's a couple of things that Texas is always going to be known for. Cowboys, space, which is super cool, and of course, oil. And nothing captures the oil industry better than the excellent movie Giant.
My welcome in, babe.
Now, number 5, if George Strait's the unofficial king of Texas, then Sandra Bullock is absolutely Texas's sweetheart. And so the movie Hope Floats 100% belongs on this list, including an excellent performance by Harry Connick Jr.
When you love someone, you'll do anything.
Okay, Mama. Stop pushing.
Do all the crazy things that you can't explain. You shoot the moon, put out the sun. When you love someone, you'll deny the truth, believe a lie. There'll be times that you believe that you could really fly.
Now, number 4, it definitely represents Texas, shot in Austin by Austinite Richard Linklater. The movie is Dazed and Confused, taking place in the summer of 1976.
Say, you're a freshman, right?
Yeah.
All right, so tell me, man, how's this year's crop of freshman chicks looking?
What, you're gonna end up in jail sometime really soon, I know that for a fact.
No, man.
Yeah.
No, man, I tell you.
Yeah.
That's what I love about these high school girls, man. I get older, they stay the same age.
Yes, they do. Go.
Yes, they do.
Now, number 3, the movie's underrated. Taylor Sheridan wrote it. and somehow it kind of gets forgotten in his oeuvre, particularly with Yellowstone taken off. Taylor Sheridan, notable Texan. Um, but his movie Hell or High Water really captures that Texan thing of resistance and always wanting to fight back, even when the government is being unjust. And so, if you watch the movie, if you've never seen it, I can't recommend it enough. It's one of the best written movies of the last 20 years, one of the best shot movies of the last 20 years. And Chris Pine and Jeff Bridges are just sublime together.
I didn't kill your friend.
Yes, you did. By setting this thing in motion. You expect me to believe your dim-witted brother planned this? Oh no, this was smart. This was you.
I've been poor my whole life. Told my parents, their parents before them. It's like a disease. Passing from generation to generation becomes a sickness. That's what it is.
Now, number 2, I promised you another Larry McMurtry entry. I don't know that I would be making movies if it weren't for the film The Last Picture Show, beyond just being really into Sybil Shepherd from that movie. But the movie The Last Picture Show, fantastic. Again, Jeff Bridges back on this list. He should be a Texan at this point. But shot in black and white, bleak and hopeful at the same time. If you've never seen it, definitely something you should really sit down and really take your time to watch and really absorb.
I reckon the reason why I always drag you out here is probably I'm just as sentimental as the next fella when it comes to old times. Old times. I brought a young lady swimming out here once, more than 20 years ago. It was after my wife had lost her mind and my boys was dead. Me and this young lady was pretty wild, I guess.
But before we go, I wanted to list a couple of honorable mention movies that we didn't really have time to dive into that easily could have made this list. And, when we're going to be, I guess we're about 10 years away from the bicentennial Texas. And if I'm still doing this show, maybe that list will be different. But here's some other movies about Texas that I didn't really go into on the list that really also capture that Texas vibe. No Country for Old Men, Murphy's Romance, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Tender Mercies, Office Space, and the excellent movie Fandango. Again, if these were top 25 movies, or if I was intentionally going for values other than just vibes, I almost wanted to pull this list up without even thinking about it and also capture all different kinds of movies about Texas. So now, time to go to number 1. Again, number 1, Larry McMurtry, but nothing just gets me fired about being a Texan than the Texas Rangers. And I know problematic past and all of that, but they also still, some of that reputation they have was absolutely earned of being tough and brave and defending Texas. And so the movie Lonesome Dove, about 2 aging Texas Rangers actually leaving Texas, absolutely captures that Texas thing, particularly when it comes to Woodrow F. Call and Augustus McCrae.
I'm Captain Augustus McCrae. This is Captain Woodrow F. Call. Now, if you care to turn around, you can see how we looked when we was younger, and the people around here wanted to make us senators. Now, the thing we didn't put up with then was dawdling service. And as you can see, we still don't put up with it.
And we did get a little help from some of our fellow Texans for this segment. Carlo Rodriguez joins us, and his top 10 begins with the excellent movie Lone Star, and then The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas, Tender Mercies, Office Space, Hope Floats, Murphy's Romance, Hell or High Water, The Last Picture Show, Fandango, and
I hate rude behavior in a man. Won't tolerate it.
Nathan and Shelly Bybee each threw in 5 of their favorite Texas films and TV shows. Nathan has King of the Hill, Dazed and Confused, The Texas Country Reporter, Lonesome Dove, and Johnny B. Good. Shelly has The Legend of Billie Jean, Selena, Urban Cowboy, Hope Floats, and Cloak and Dagger. Jessica's top 10 begins with Pure Country, then Texasville, Giant, The Last Picture Show, 8 Seconds, Landman, Lonesome Dove, Friday Night Lights, and Hell or High Water. So that's it. That's our countdown of movies that make me feel real Texan. What are some of your favorite movies about the great state of Texas? Even if you're not from there, let us know in the comments. If you dig what we're doing here at Twitch It Off Media, please leave us a like, a subscribe, make a comment, tell your friends. You can telegraph them about the show, do some more, I don't know, whatever it is. But help us keep this show going. We absolutely love sharing some of our favorite movies. And we'll be back next week with another countdown of Jim's Moving Picture Show.